Finding female ancestors can be tough. With name changes and a lack of records, it can be a real challenge. Today, I'm going to share with you my strategy for finding those female ancestors. The first part of the strategy might sound obvious, but in my experience, this is the part that most easily gets overlooked, and that is make sure that you're covering the bases. What I mean by that is don't skip the records in which you expect to find her. You might think you know what's going to be in a record, but let's say that you skip the 1910 census for William and Anna Kelsey. Well, living in that household in 1910 was father-in-law William Chapman. If William Chapman is William Kelsey's father-in-law, that means that he's Anna Kelsey's father. That's a pretty good clue. Covering the bases also means that you don't stop at just one record. If you found her death certificate, have you also found her obituary? And if you found her obituary in one newspaper, have you looked in the other newspapers of that town for other obituaries? I'm old enough that I remember when towns often had more than one newspaper. As a genealogist, I kind of miss those days. If you have found her marriage record at the courthouse, and it says that she was married by a minister, have you followed up with the church records? If you know where she's buried, have you looked for cemetery records? The second part of the strategy is to research her husbands. And yes, I did say husbands plural. If she's married more than once, you do want to be researching all of them, not just the husband that you descend from. It's important to research the husbands because throughout our history, women haven't had as many records created by them and for them as the men have. But wives can be mentioned directly or indirectly in the records of her husband. This could be things like probate records and other court records. It could be land records, military pension records. Could even be his obituary. For example, in this obituary of Clarence Edsel in Fort Wayne, Indiana in 1897, it mentions that in 1872 he married Miss Cordelia Crane, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. A. M. Crane of Illinois. The third part of my strategy for finding female ancestors is to research all of her children, not just that one child that you descend from. Think of it this way. If she had 8 children, researching all of them increases your odds of finding something 8-fold. Let's take a look at a real-life example of this. Elmer Longstreth was born in Perry County, Ohio in 1868. And his birth record at the probate court lists his parents as Michael Longstreth and Patience. Patience's maiden name isn't listed, even though it's supposed to be. On the other hand, Elmer's sister Acela, when she was born in 1875, her birth record lists the parents as Michael Longstreth and Patience Osborne. It definitely pays to research all of the children in the family. Sometimes when we're researching our female ancestors, we need to dig into records that we don't use all the time. And in this video up here, you'll learn about some records that are a little off the beaten path, but that contain a ton of information about our ancestors. So go check that out. Happy researching!